Wahpeton Post 20 Baseball is on the air
All
in
right.
Wisconsin for the Central Plains Regional Tournament.
Okay,
Today's game is brought to you by Tank the Zoo, Action Realty, Cargill, Amanda Frederick, State Farm, Mindak Farmers Cooperative, Antelope Creek Bar and Grill,
coming off a
Silver First
heartbreaking
Source,
loss to
Perkin
Antigo after being
Therapeutics,
up 5-4.
Fillmore and Sons,
Antigo scored
High Camp
4 runs
Construction,
in the bottom of the
Red River
sixth to
Human
beat
Services,
Wahpeton.
LaCrescent
LaCrescent
Captain
coming
Subs,
off
Bell
the third
Bank,
time they
Kraus
played
Brothers
Viroqua this
Construction,
year in a
CDI
4-2
Services
loss
Comdell,
after being
Miller
ahead
Realty,
2-0.
Vision Forward, Red River Communication, Minkota Ag Products,
At this
Smith
time,
Motors,
Scott Van
Schmitty's
Camp will
Plumbing
be
and
singing the
Heating,
national
Valley
anthem.
Beef
That'll give
Service
you
and
the starting
Manufacturing,
lineups, and
Otter Tail
we're
Power
ready to
Company,
roll.
Carlson Family Insurance, and OK Tire. Now from Wahpeton, Wisconsin, here's Steve Winterhack.
And thank you, Steve Winterhack here, and they are just about ready to sing the national anthem again. Your Wahpeton Post 20 team in their second game of the Division II Central Plains Tournament, and they'll be taking on LaCrescent 5-9-5. We're going to take about a 2-minute break while the national anthem is going on. Be back for the beginning of the game, the starting lineups right after this on B92.7 FM.
Online at rrhsf.org. Good luck to the Wahpeton Post 20 in the state baseball tournament. Remember, a variety of positions and shifts available. Apply online at rrhsf.org.
Cargill Wahpeton is now hiring for operations technicians. Earn $24 to $31 an hour. Maybe a TPO or school and great benefit package. Apply online at www.cargill.com/careers. Good luck to Post 20 from the Cargill team in Wahpeton.
Summer 2021 is the best time to do the zoo at Uinkawa Zoo. They have all kinds of mammals such as silly spider monkeys, otters, tigers, and bears. Stop down and see Poppy and the Gibbon family, and everyone's favorite Tal, the mild-mannered and sweet orangutan. Take the zoo bigger and better than ever. Stop down and see what makes it the best zoos in the country. Uinkawa Zoo open 7 days a week, 10 to 7.
Therapeutic is owned and operated by Sophie Bertram, who is a licensed massage therapist in the state of North Dakota. She is also a certified yoga instructor. She is focused on quality service in every facet of her work and will also serve you as a health coach. She'll keep you on track to where you want your health and wellness to be. Send Sophie an email to set up.
All right, folks, here's our starting lineup here for your Game 1, 9 o'clock. First of all, we'll go with Wahpeton. It'll be shortstop, number 5, Caden Kappas leading things off, followed by right fielder, number 2, Gavin Schroeder. Batting third and playing left field, number 1, Isaac Loosemore. Batting in the cleanup spot, catcher number 7, Jackson Fleeflet. And pitching today, number 22, and batting fifth, it'll be Ethan Mannock. And batting sixth and playing first base, number 4, Hunter Wamry. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 9, Caden Hockert. And designated hitter, batting eighth, number 15, Josiah Hoffman. He'll be the designated hitter for third baseman, number 11, Riley Timian. And batting ninth will be center fielder, number 20, Tori Ulrich. Excuse me on that one. LaCrescent will have center fielder number 8, Isaac Peterson, leading things off for them. Batting second will be second baseman number 29, Carson Poppy. Batting third baseman number 1, Mason Bills. Batting in the cleanup spot, number 49, first baseman Ryan Steffes. Batting fifth and catching, number 37, Jack Welch. Batting sixth and pitching will be the cow wrangler, number 11, Braden Abnett. And batting seventh will be the designated hitter, number 32, Logan DeBoer. He'll be the DH for right fielder, number 7, Jamo Elson. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 33, Eli McCool. And batting ninth and playing short, number 24, Sam Erpenbach. So, once again, both of these teams coming off some heartbreaking defeats yesterday. Once again, LaCrescent losing to Viroqua 4-2 after leading 2-0 majority of the game. And Wahpeton, after leading 5-4 going into the sixth, Antigo scored 4 in the bottom of the sixth and defeated Wahpeton 8-5. So let's hope one of these teams is able to bounce back and go 500. But either way, we're going to see some good baseball. Both teams played solid games yesterday. And then also during the broadcast, we'll be piping in the buttery smooth voice of Steve Winterhack, who is helping out Wahpeton. Wahpeton wanted him to announce on their radio station 92.7 and broadcast the game. We're going to be starting this just a smidge early due to the weather forecast this afternoon. And our umpires will be Randy, the Sheriff Armga, behind the plate, Kent Vandekalk over there by third base. And I keep forgetting his name over there, the Freeman, something like that, over on the other base pad. Freeman, yes. So once again, it'll be the Cow Wrangler on the mound for LaCrescent, Minnesota. Big number 11. And that's Braden Abnett. Got informed yesterday that when I said he's a tall drink of water, he looks like a basketball player or outside hitter for volleyball, and we had somebody chime in and say, nope, he's a Cow Wrangler. So those are the types of things that we like to see in the comments section, so we get some backstories on it. And Liz Romaine is already online. She's already rooting for Wahpeton. She's got you on that one. She's ready to go.
Of the day in the Division II Central Plains Regional Tournament, and again the second game of the tournament for Wahpeton and for LaCrescent, post 595. LaCrescent will be the home team on the mine mound for them. Maybe the tallest player that's on the field for at least the LaCrescent team, and that is Braden Abnett, a tall, solid-looking kid, right-hander on the mound. We'll be starting things out. Let's take a look at the batting order for Wahpeton. Caden Kappas will be leading things off, the shortstop. Right fielder will be Gavin Schroeder. In left field, Isaac Loosemore. Batting in the cleanup spot, catcher Jackson Fleetwood. Ethan Mannock, he is the pitcher today. He'll be batting fifth, followed by first baseman Hunter Wamry. Caden Hockert batting seventh. He's the second baseman. Then DH Josiah Hoffman. And they round out the order. Number 9 slot is Corey Ulick, the center fielder. And we are ready to go. And stepping to the plate now is Caden Kappas. Again on the mound, Braden Abnett. Jack Welch behind the plate. Ryan Steffes is the first baseman. Carson Poppy over at second base. Sam Erpenbach is the shortstop, and Mason Bills over at third base. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. And the call strike right in the outside part of the plate. Left to right in the outfield, Eli McCool. I remember that name from LaCrescent. Can't forget a name like that. Isaac Peterson in center field, and Jamo Elson is the right fielder. Defensive starting lineup for post 595 out of LaCrescent. These teams bringing their big buses along, and I tell you what Wahpeton's got definitely is the coolest one of all of those, with their Wahpeton Huskies on the side of it, black, big bus that they travel around, and definitely you can take notice when you see it go by. But it looks like a pretty nice ride. That'll be making a trip down to Milwaukee today. Next pitch, a swing and a miss, and Caden Kappas goes down. Strikeout victim to start things out. That'll bring up Gavin Schroeder. Post 20, Wahpeton will be heading down, the whole team, coaches, going down to see the Milwaukee Brewers take on the Giants. They had a great game last night. I believe it was 2-1 in favor of the Brewers in that game, in that 3-game series. Schroeder follows the first pitch off and out of play. But a few of their players have not even been to a major league game. It's going to be a great experience for them, and just a great ballpark for them to go watch the game. And it's one of the more fan-friendly places to go watch a professional sporting event. You can walk all around the field, go behind home plate, you go way out in the outfield. A lot of things going on underneath the stadium there, things to do and fun to be had. So they're going to have fun today to get this game done. And you know you're going to have the game because, of course, they got the roof over at American Family Field. Next pitch is fouled back by Schroeder. Hanging on to the count now, 0-2. Isaac Loosemore awaiting on deck. Hopefully your weather a little bit better over in Wahpeton. Right now we've, like I said, looking at some heavy storms, maybe the worst area in the country coming our way. with weather later on today. Maybe sometime after 11 o'clock, between 11 o'clock and noon. It looks like it's going to cover most of the lower part of Wisconsin coming in from Minnesota. So we started the game a little bit earlier. This one is hit up the middle, and it's going to get past their shortstop, Sam Erpenbach, out to center field. Nice job with a couple strikes on him and fighting him off, and Gavin Schroeder gets himself on base with a single. So runner at first, one down, and Isaac Loosemore coming up. Early going in the game, no score in the game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Thanks for joining me today, and don't forget, you can also watch and listen to the game on Facebook at Wahpeton Baseball Video Live Stream. Check that out. The pitch into Loosemore is going to miss high for ball one, or on YouTube, it's Jeff's, with an apostrophe in it for the S, Jeff's Live Stream. Jeff's Live Streams on YouTube. You can watch and listen to all of the games right there on those two sites. Runner going on the pitch, poking his bat out there, trying to get his teammate over. Was Loosemore, but just fouls it off over on the first base side. So 1-1 the count on Isaac Loosemore, the left fielder. Runner at first base and one down. Top of the first inning. Next score in the game, again on the Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Next pitch, fastball is going to miss high. Puts the count at 2-1. Not much of a breeze today. A little bit hazy out there. You know that you just feel in the air that there's something coming later on today. Pretty much just straight west of us where that storm's coming in. Comes the 2-1 pitch. He is down to the dirt, makes the count 3-1. 4 games on the docket today. This one against LaCrescent at 11:15 schedule time, but everything's going to be kind of pushed up if they can. Try to get some games in. 3-1 pitch. Popped up and backing out of play. But the next game scheduled for 11:15. That'll be Valley City, North Dakota, taking on Kaukauna, Wisconsin. That is the AA champs in Wisconsin. At 1:30, Viroqua, Wisconsin. The Class A champs in Legion Baseball, taking on the AA runners-up, Antigo, Wisconsin, the team that knocked off Wahpeton yesterday. That's at 1:30 scheduled time. And 3:45, LeSueur, Henderson, Minnesota will be taking on the host team, Wahpeton. All of the Wisconsin teams, the 4 Wisconsin teams that were here, that are here in this tournament, all won yesterday. The next ball is popped in the air, foul territory. Just past third base in foul territory there, and the third baseman Mason Bills gets underneath it to get out number 2. Well, right now the Wahpeton hitters definitely putting some pitches, keeping track of pitches here and making Braden Abnett have to throw a few to get the outs. Still a runner at first base, 2 down, and cleanup batter Jackson Fleetfoot. The catcher for Wahpeton up to bat, right-handed hitter. A healthy cut on the first pitch in. A high fastball, swing and a miss for strike 1. Pitcher Ethan Mannock awaiting on deck. Catches the outside part of the plate on a fastball, makes the count 0-2. That does a pretty good job of getting ahead on the hitters, and it's going to be a little easier on him. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Abnett, runner going, down in the dirt, throw over to second base, and that is not in time, getting there easily. It was Schroeder. He stands over at second base. Wahpeton just a gap hit away from bringing a run in. To start things out with a run here in the top of the first inning. Checks over to second base, and here's the pitch again. A good job by Fleetfoot, and say all of the Wahpeton hitters. They get down and a couple strikes on them. They foul a few off and keep on adding to the pitch count for Braden Abnett. 1-2 the count. Runner at second base. Another one fouled off. kind of writing in the starters yet in the batting order for the team out of LaCrescent. Don't get that in the books yet. Fleetwood battling up there, still hanging on that 1-2 count, and chops this over towards third base. And it's picked up by Mason Bills all the way across the field and gets the out. So a base hit goes for naught. Runner gets stranded at second base. Nobody scores, and after 1/2 of inning, no score in the game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. I'll be back with the bottom of the first after this on B92.7 FM.
Welcome back here to the Gus. You're listening to Jeff Sauer and Jeff Taves here on the live stream, along with Steve Winterhack piping in for Wahpeton. What is it,
92.7.
Thanks. So I got a couple of shout-outs already, so good to hear that. So Scott Erpenbach, good luck LaCrescent, and number 24 is from Scott and Amanda and Addison. Go ahead.
And this is Annie Firminick, Wahpeton, LUSA. I think that's what that is. And then Liz Romaine, cloudy, 60% chance of rain, late morning, early afternoon here in Wahpeton. So it's nice to hear, because I think when we had the rain yesterday, Wahpeton, some people were saying, I wish we would get some rain. Looks like you're going to get it. And Liz also says hopefully the weather stays at bay here for our games here in Waupun. But as Steve was saying, the forecast is looking a little bleak starting around noon.
Yeah, hopefully it will hold off. Yeah, I mean, our artificial turf does a nice job. We did a good job of cleaning up quickly. After we got drenched, we were back out there playing baseball about 20 minutes after it stopped. So the field can handle the weather. But the problem is, will the weather let up enough for it to drain from what I'm seeing?
Right. So, yeah, you can tell it's pretty humid here with the hazy type of, it might look foggy on the screen and so forth, and that's pretty much just what we got here. At least we can see the buildings past the field, but you see the cars going past on the Highway 151 out there, north-south. We can see them now, but who knows later on. I know earlier this morning it was a little more bleak, so I'm glad, like I say, we were able to play some ball. Also, after the game, have fun Wahpeton heading down to American Family Field in Milwaukee. They're going to catch a Brewer game against San Francisco Giants. San Francisco has the best record in Major League Baseball, and Milwaukee has the third best record now in baseball after defeating the Giants in extra innings 2-1. So please enjoy the atmosphere. It's supposed to be like an electric playoff atmosphere. It's a Saturday game, so you're probably going to expect at least about 40,000 people there for this one. So I haven't checked to see who's on the mound. I know Corbin Burns was on the mound yesterday, so it might be the big woo, Brandon Woodruff, who's one of our all-star pitchers, pitching for the Brewers. So looking forward to a good one there tonight. But right now, we'll focus on this one here between Wahpeton and LaCrescent, and I'm sure this is going to be a good one as well.
Reminder to make sure that you're putting your comments out there on Facebook. We'd like to share that with the kids. I did hear some comments already this morning that some of the kids went back and watched a little bit of the video, and we're happy to see some of the comments that were posted there. Yeah. So do the same thing on YouTube if you can. Go ahead and post those. So Liz, thank you very much. Keep that up. The kids really get a kick out of seeing what fans are paying attention back home and cheering them on through the video as they get to watch this. And it's there over and over. So
and Wyatt Sundquist just said go Wahpeton. So good to have you on with us, Wyatt. And it's Isaac Peterson leading things off for LaCrescent.
Back to the Steve Winterhack.
Won the count. Pitch here by Manick, bringing some heat to get the strike. The 1-1 pitch. One catches the outside part of the plate. Makes the count 1-2. Get Ethan in good form here today. I know Coach Chris Kappas a little happy with the walks that they gave up yesterday and some free passes they had to go that really spelled their doom yesterday. They were leading going into the bottom of the sixth inning by a score of 5-4. Then they had a bunch of walks and some timely hits, and they had to go put 4 runs on the board. Took a 3-run lead for the score stayed. This is just a little blue hit in short right center field with the right-handed hitter Isaac Peterson. Kind of fought one off inside and took it out to right field. Gets himself a base hit. Now left-hander Carson Poppy, the second baseman, coming up. So nobody out. Runner at first base. Bottom of the first inning. No score in the game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Going bunt. And the bat back and a called strike. Almost hit the bat, but a strike called anyway. The organizers here just they're hoping beyond hope that the rain might stay away, but it looks like almost a sure thing coming. It's just this mass of green, and then some heavy stuff coming in along with that storm that's coming in after 11 o'clock this morning. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Mannock, and that one is fouled off over on the third base side. That kind of going inside and high with him a little bit, just fighting it off for a foul ball. 0-2 the count. Pitch is going to miss high. In a bad place for that. Count is now 1-2. Runner at first base with Peterson over there. Sure to stay close. Does a pretty good move, and he goes on the next pitch. Again, that is fouled off. And Isaac Peterson will head back to first base. I remember being a kid going to watch a Brewer game, go to County Stadium, and watching the Milwaukee Brewers, and a few times being disappointed. Got there, and then the rains came. That thing was not under a roof. Not a great place to watch a game. Historic. Still not a great place. Not as fan-friendly as American Family Field is. Crew from Wahpeton will have a great time today. Next pitch is swung on and just getting a piece of it off the bat of Poppy. Mason Bills, the third baseman, awaiting on deck. Broadcast buddy Randy Armga behind home plate, kind of ahead of the officials for this, and his job to get these officials here throughout the weekend. Next pitch is a strike, and heads up the first baseline, but that was occupied, and he is out. Good battle with Poppy up there, but ends up striking out at the end of it. Mason Bills, the third baseman, coming up to bat, right-handed hitter. Ryan Steffes on deck right now, the first baseman. The swing at that little pitch, missed it, and then it got away from the catcher, but runner does advance over to second base with one down, and Mason Bills up the bat. Throw over to second, not in time. Ethan Mannock, a track star, third place in the state in discus, and fourth place with javelin. And ball hit out towards center field, but right at Torrey Ulick. That's right where he's standing. Came forward, went back to the start place he started from, and hauls it in for the out. Runner stays at second base. So two down, and Ryan Steffes, the first baseman, coming up. Solid kid. What was his history? Heavy equipment operator up there. The right guy to do it. Pretty good size. Oh, this one is actually going to hit the runner at second base, and a throw over to second. He's going to head over to third. Right up. But hit him right in the helmet with it. And then one shooting off a little bit towards the right field, a little bit, just barely on the outfield grass. And Isaac Peterson shakes it off as he heads over to third base. But now a runner sitting over at third, just 90 feet away from the first score in the ball game for either team. And they're going to get it right now because that is at opposite field between first and second base. And a run comes in from third. An RBI single for Ryan Steffes. Nice job there by LaCrescent. Runner over to third base, and then hitting him in with two down. The big guy over at first base. And another good-sized young man coming up the bat, Jack Welch, stepping to the plate. Braden Abnett, the pitcher, waiting on deck. Pitch inside part of the plate. Called strike. Man, it's like doing the whole routine you have as being a starting pitcher as opposed to coming in relief. He's a lot more accurate than he was yesterday late in that game. They lost against Antigo. This pitch is swung on. Chases a breaking pitch down in the dirt and swing and a miss. Ball gets back to the backstop, and the runner advances over to second base. And 1 run in, 1-0 lead for LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Got West back at the studio running the board. Next pitch, swung on and on the ground, foul over on the first base side. Wahpeton in their red jerseys with gray pants. Black numbers and lettering on their jerseys. And LaCrescent with their black jerseys and white lettering and white pants. Before listening yesterday, Wahpeton with the artificial turf infield. It has the brown areas of where the dirt is out on the field, but that is all artificial turf till about 7-8 feet past the where the dirt ends out there, still artificial, and then turns into real grass for the outfielders out there. But it's a great infield to play on. The only thing that's regular out there is the mound. They have a dirt mound that they have to take care of, and they get out there and cover that. But it drains really well here. We had a lot of rain yesterday, and a few puddles out there, but those disappeared in a hurry. 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss into Jack Welch. He goes down swinging, but a couple of base hits. 1 run comes in, 1 strikeout. After 1 complete, 1-0 in favor of LaCrescent. Back to the top of the second inning right after this on B92.7 FM.
Well, folks, like you say, we got some shout-outs here. Like I said, Wyatt Sundquist saying go Wahpeton. Some shout-outs over here. Liz Romaine said that LUSA, I think, stands for Loosemore. So Lusa, I guess is the way you pronounce that. Lusa for Loosemore. And then Jada Melmy, let's go post 20. Do your thing. So that's...
Keep the comments coming out there. The kids really love to see those things, so keep posting.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Facebook and YouTube, so feel free to post on both.
Because I really give credit to like the LaCrescent people yesterday posting, because we like to know those backstories. And like, for example, our pitcher Braden Abnett here, you know, I thought he was tall, lanky, he was a basketball player, but I was indubitably corrected, and he's a cow wrangler. So I'd like a little more details on that in case I need to interview him after the game. Obviously, pitchers have a tendency to be the ones interviewed. And then Steffes has already got an RBI, so I'm looking forward to interviewing him. Obviously, going into heavy equipment for his post-high school career. So they need a demand for those. So I'm glad to hear that he's going to be doing that. And he definitely looks like a guy that's going to do a good job in the future.
So again, keep posting out those comments there. We love it. Again, the players love to hear those things. And as Jeff is alluding to, we do post game interview, usually with the winning team, but we will make sure that we contact each of the teams and be able to share, especially when we get done with the crossover pool games. We'll make sure that we touch base with both teams and let them give a shout out to their fans. So thanks again for following this live stream. We appreciate it. And go post 20 and go post 595.
First pitch to him. A lot of youth, 9 players just going into their junior year in high school on this squad that they brought to Wahpeton. They had a couple of the super seniors that already been to college for a year at North Dakota State College of Science with Loosemore and also at Wamry. 0-2 pitch, and that is smoked up the middle. Put that one right down the middle, not where you want to put a pitch when you're ahead in the count 0-2. He just makes them pay for it, and a line drive up the middle, base hit to start things out again for post 20 out of Wahpeton. That will bring up Hunter Wamry, the first baseman. One thing that Wahpeton did yesterday was the Antigo would get a run on them. They'd answer right away the next inning, except for the top of the 7th inning. Runner going on the pitch, that's a little off the mark, a little right of second base from our vantage point. And just like that, Ethan Manick standing over at second base. I noticed with Wahpeton yesterday, very fast team. They put on the base paths out there. They laid on bunts very well. Did that numerous times when called upon to do it yesterday, and get a few infield hits with some of their sack bunts. Themselves a base hit the side. This one is smoked right down the right field line, and that is in play. And Wahpeton's going to score and tie this ball game up. Nice opposite field hit right down the right field line off the bat of Hunter Womry. Himself an RBI and also puts his team tied with LaCrescent at 1 apiece on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Nice job of hitting. Went right down the line, a couple feet in. Gets himself a single out of it, but gets a run across the plate. Nobody out, and runner at first base, and Caden Hockert coming up. Second baseman. Throw to first, not in time. Looks over to first base. Throws it over there. Panic, but should say Abnett. There's Abnett on the mound for LaCrescent. High heat. Comes onto the strike zone, but a swing and a miss by Hockert. Getting some updates from the zoo. You said there's a couple cheetahs in there now. I got to come back, and it's someday to see the cheetahs. Might be worth a 7-hour trip. This one's put over towards third base. It's going to be close over at first, and ball dropped anyway over at first, and runner going for third base now, and a throw over there, and that is a little late. I'll tell you, Wahpeton being very aggressive on the base pass. Now they got runners at the corners. Beautiful bunt, almost about 2/3 of the way over towards third base, and I think they would have got him anyway. And even though the first baseman dropped the ball, but he would have got there anyway. But he's got some great speed. There's enough for coach for Ryan Neefeld to come out and talk to his infield and try to settle him down a little bit with runners at the corners. And '80s band called Wildside performing. Nothing but 80s stuff, danceable songs, and it should be a lot of fun. They got a stage set up on the tent area right here by the baseball diamond. Should be a fun night. So things don't get washed out too bad. At the bat now is Josiah Hoffman. Josiah is the designated hitter in the batting order for Wahpeton. Runner goes on the next pitch, and they're going to throw that, and that's going to get away from the second baseman. It's going to allow a run to come in. Kind of a fake throw to the second baseman that came in right behind the pitcher, and he let it go at the end, and then it goes into second base, and they kind of let that get away from him, and a run comes in. So it did not work real well for LaCrescent on that play. First lead of the ball game now for Wahpeton, leading 2-1. And again, there's that immediate answer again. Just answering it, but still going at it here with a runner at second base, 2 runs in, and still nobody out. Pitch is popping in the air out towards right field. Going to be trouble over there, and that's going to land in. Well, that one just about 2 feet in, about halfway up the line from first base out to the right field fence, and 3 players out to first base, second base, and the right fielder can't get to the ball in now 4 hits in a row, and that puts runners at the corners for Wahpeton. 4 singles. Get things going here in the top of the second inning. Wahpeton looking for more now with runners at the corners and nobody out, and Torrey Ulick is coming up to bat, the center fielder. Torrey yesterday, he had a couple singles. He was hit by a pitch and scored 3 times in that ball game against Antigo. Not your regular number 9 hitter, a guy that sets up the top of the order. Seen that a few times with the Wahpeton squad that I've seen over the years. At times kind of a pretty good batter in the number 9 spot. Numerous times that comes up big in the ball game. One pitch and a bunt attempt. Of course, being a left-handed hitter, he's already taking a step up towards the first base, trying to get himself an infield hit. The sides, bringing a run in from third base. An aggressive team that follows that one back. Makes the count 0-2. He's going to have to swing away. But saw that numerous times yesterday, at least 2 if not 3 times in the ballgame. Those infield hits off the bunt. Laying it down, and they have to get some good distance on it too, getting it past where the pitcher can field it. Abnett steps off the rubber, takes the runner back over at first, anticipating him taking off. Wahpeton, one of the faster teams I've seen here this season. The reason they can be aggressive is they've got some lightning speed on the base paths. Now, a couple cheetahs now. I heard there, got that up the zoo. I can't pronounce the name of the zoo. Well, you have to phonetically spell that for me. Next pitch is fouled out of play over on the third base side. But I'm all about Cal, the orangutan. I can learn not to say orangutan. It's orangutan. An endangered species. I hear that on the radio all the time. So I'm going to the only orangutan in captivity in North Dakota. He's the star there. And the names for the cheetahs, we got to have a name for them so you get that emotional connection with them. It goes right back to the pitcher, and they get the out at first, and advances the run over to second. Yeah, yep. Yeah, Steve, yeah. Cal's friend, Steve. Yeah. If they don't have names for them, if they do, you'll let us know, or you could contact the Jeffs over on the video live streaming on YouTube or on Facebook. Runners at second and third base as Ulick is retired at first. For one down. That brings the top of the order of Caden Kappas coming up. Struck out. Start the game out for Wahpeton. Well, they had a couple RBIs to that total with runners at second and third base. Put some room between Wahpeton and the LaCrescent, showing bunt. That goes about 5 feet in front of the plate. Brings a run in, a throw over to first base, and a safe over there. It was a bad throw anyway, but again, they bunted down. Runner coming off. It's a full head of steam coming from third base is Caden Hockert, and he scores. There's an aggressive base running team, and it's been paying off in this ball game. Again, runners at the corners. And Gavin Schroeder coming up. He got a single, got stranded over at second base back in the first inning. Great answer here by Wahpeton. Calling a signal, let you know what's going to happen here if a runner takes off from first base. That was, nice punt. Runner taking off and gets over to second base. Safe over at second. Throw to first in time. Runner does score. Runner was going on the pitch, so they had no option to go over to second base and get that runner. So they just got the second out over at first base, but a run does come in. Just like that, Wahpeton leading 4-1 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Runner stands at second base. Just 2 outs on the board. Isaac Loosemore up to bat. First pitch down to the dirt. And stopped by the catcher, Jack Welch, for ball 1. Wahpeton's a fun team to watch. They've got a lot of great athletes out there, a lot of speed. They got guys put the bunt down. The panel of experts are talking that last bunt made the catcher go get it, which took away that play on home plate. Hit over towards third base. That puts the over the top of the head of the first baseman. That's going to score another run. And getting over to second base is Isaac Loosemore. That was a error on the throw over to first base. They had a tall first baseman over there, and they have trouble hitting him, getting the ball over there. There's an error. I believe. 5 runs come in, though, so far in the inning. Runner at second base. Like I said, you got a pretty good-sized first baseman there. Should be able to throw in this big circle of where he can catch the ball that was above his head. And really been making that first baseman, Ryan Steffes, work for LaCrescent. 5 hits in the inning, 1 error, and 5 runs come in. The runner now still at second base. Wahpeton not done yet. Fleetfoot next pitch. He's the 9th batter coming up for Wahpeton in the inning. He is Jackson Fleetfoot. 1-1 the count to Jackson. He's grounded out back in the first inning to end the inning. He's going to step out. Thought Mr. Abner was taking a little too long on the mound. He steps out. Comes back in. What an inning here for Wahpeton, taking a 5-1 lead. Losing yesterday 8-5 to Antigo, Wisconsin. He's hit out towards center field and short center field, and the second baseman off his glove can't haul it in. And that's going to bring another run in. Would have been a tough play over his shoulder for the second baseman that got all the way out there, but couldn't haul it in. Everything going not LaCrescent's way, everything going Wahpeton's way here in the inning. And that is now the 6th run to come in for post 20. And a long way to get to that ball for Carson Poppy, the second baseman. And, stuck his glove up there, but just couldn't haul it in on the dead run. Again, another runner on the base pass, 1 at first base. And up to bat for the second time in the ball game is the pitcher, Ethan Mannock. He got it all going in this inning with a single and then scored. Fun, I guess if you're the team you're here to cover, those more than 9 batters, I don't mind crossing out the numbers and extending this into what would have been the 3rd inning in the book. Fine with me. Ethan, he was down on the count, had a couple strikes on him, and then smoked one up the middle for his base hit to get things going, like I said, this inning for post 20. Down on the count again, 0-2. And hits this and out to right field, likes that 0-2 count, and pulls it right past the third baseman. A hard hit ball, his 2nd hit of the inning for Ethan Mannock. Hunter Wamry steps to the plate. He had a single and scored, an RBI single back in the early part of the inning. Wahpeton continuing on even though they have 2 outs. Get some more to cross the plate with runners at first and second base. 6-1 the lead now for Wahpeton over LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate to Wamry. No offer, makes the count 0-1. Next pitch, a high fastball, swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Still Braden Abnett on the mound. His 0-2 pitch just misses, makes the count 1-2. Caden Hockert awaiting on deck. Hopefully the sun's shining over in Wahpeton. Still hazy, cloudy here. Rain on the way. Here's a hit out towards right field, and that's going to score another run at least. That one is cut off by the right fielder, and they're going to score another one. Bring 2 in now for Wahpeton. And now they've really opened this up, now leading 8-1 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Nice hit way out to a right center field. 2 runs hit in by Hunter Wamry. What an inning here. This is now the 12th batter of the inning for Wahpeton. Up to bat again this inning, Caden Hockert. A broken record, he also singled and scored earlier in this inning. Got that runner out of second base in scoring position. Trying to bring him in on that swing, kind of yanks his head out a little, but swings hard, misses. Makes the count 1-1. Josiah Hoffman awaiting on deck. The 1-1 pitch. High and tight. Count is now 2-1. Getting hits up and down the order. They started out with number 5 in the batting order, and next 4 guys after that with base hits. Chopper over towards third base. Mason Bills picks it up, throws it across the field. This time on the money, and they got the third out finally, but not before the damage is done. 6-7 hits in the inning and 1 error, and 8 runs cross the plate, and after 1.5 innings, it is 8-1 in favor of Wahpeton. We'll be back with the bottom of inning number 2 after this on B92.7 FM.
Yeah, folks, a rough inning here for LaCrescent, post 595, but a shout-out from Coach McDowell from afar. He says, go get 'em, fellas. He says, great group of kids, and that makes coaching a whole lot easier when you got a great group of kids. And I'm hoping that because they're a great group of kids, this 8-1 deficit is not going to last too much longer. This looks like a group that can come back and chip away and make a comeback. So those are the types of kids you want to coach. Also, Wahpeton, like I say, Steve Winterhack's looking for names for those 2 cheetahs that you have. Chahinka Pazu, that's the name of the zoo. All right, that's the zoo, but he said that you got 2 new cheetahs out there, and he's wondering if they have names. And I propose that if they don't have names, at least name one after this radio broadcaster who loves the Wahpeton Chinka Hapazu, and he wants to name one of the cheetahs Steve. So, and he's got his broadcast partner Randy, so you could say Steve and Randy, we can name those cheetahs out there. So anyway, back to Steve Winterhack.
Putting it out in play in a great inning for Wahpeton, bringing in 8 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Take an 8-1 lead going into the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Number 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order coming up now for LaCrescent. Starting out with a pitcher of Braden Abnett, followed by Logan DeBoer, then Eli McCool. I remember a McCool on the team about 3 years ago. I think when we were in Wahpeton, I remember we ran across a player from LaCrescent with last name McCool. I'm just guessing this is his younger brother. This is off the handle of a bat and right back to the pitcher. Ethan Manick just comes off the mound a little bit to his left and hauls it in for out number 1. Nice pitch. Kind of crowded him on that pitch, jammed him, and easy out for the pitcher. Logan DeBoer. DeBoer, a very common name here. In Wahpeton, a lot of them in Wahpeton, including a late great coach here, Kevin DeBoer. His number is out in the left center field fence. Wahpeton team has a habit after games to go out there and touch that the plaque that they have out there in left center field. Great coach, passed away some years ago now from cancer. So we'll have a fundraiser for him, Kicking for Kevin, and that's coming up later on this year. I got to get more details on that, the date and some of the things going on with that. Big swing and a miss by DeBoer. And he goes down. The strikeout route. 2 up, 2 down, and Eli McCool. Coolest name you can possibly have. I remember the other McCool that I saw, a very confident player for LaCrescent when he played. Probably maybe the best player on the team. Kind of stuck up besides his name. Also kind of stood behind his name and was also a very good player to back it up with his play. Naya and what? Chica. Naya and Chica. Chica. Okay. Kind of a fundraiser for him, and they kind of benefit some families. Besides the program, they want to help out the baseball program, which is Kevin's passion. They also have a kickball tournament, brings a lot of teams in. Also raise money for some families in need, maybe somebody suffering from cancer or something, and the expenses they have from that, and they want to help them out, and they've done that throughout the years. Just a great event. That was coming up again the 15th of October on that weekend. Always a great event. They raise a lot of money. They have an auction for a lot of items. They have some drawings for things, and like I said, they raise a lot of money. Cade McCool was his name. Yeah, Cade. I remember that. What's Cade up to? Gabe McDowell kind of let us know about him. He went on to play some baseball on the next level. I just remember him playing. Is that? I just wonder if that's the brother of the gentleman just hit the ball off the glove of the right fielder. Gavin Schroeder was just arranging back. Looked like an easy catch off his glove and on the ground, an error on the right fielder. Gavin Schroeder off the bat of Eli McCool. That'll bring up number 9 in the batting order, Sam Erpenbach, the shortstop, right-handed hitter. Just kind of backpedaling with Schroeder to get the ball. Looked like he just had to catch it a little bit above his head. Popped out of his glove, and now the runner to be safe at first base. So a runner at first. Preston would like to answer with something, but 2 outs on the board, and runner at first. We're giving up 8 runs. Pitch. Misses. Played with Jaden Moore, the assistant coach. Both were selected to the all-tournament team. But Gabe says that arm issue took him away from the sport, but we're lucky to have him and his family around the next few years with Eli. So, that's a family member. I love that name, McCool. If I started out in radio again, I'd be Steve McCool. It worked for Steve McQueen, so I'm going to go Steve McCool. That's the coolest radio name. I think you're destined to be a radio disc jockey. You have a name like McCool. 3-1 the count now to Erpenbach. Swings and misses on the next pitch. It's a 3-2 count to Sam Erpenbach. Top of the order, Isaac Peterson awaiting on deck. A throw to first, not in time. The 3-2 pitch, runner goes, ball popped in the air in the infield, and the shortstop, Caden Kappas, right in front of second base, hauls it in for the out. So 1 strikeout, 1 error, 1 base runner left stranded on the base pass. Nobody scores, and after 2 completed, it's 8-1 in favor of Wahpeton. And I'll be back in just 1 minute with the top of the 3rd inning on B92.7 FM.
Wow. Shout out from Cassie Carter, who's cheering on Wahpeton. She's like, whoo, great job. She says you guys are killing it, and good luck to her favorite catcher, Jackson Fleeflet, number 7, behind in the old Tools of Ignorance, that armor that the catchers wear. And then I'd love to thank Tim Moore, Gabe McDowell, giving us background information on Cade McCool, lefty that we faced back in this type of tournament a couple years back. And also people giving us information on the cheetahs' names at the zoo over there in Wahpeton.
Renee Langenwalter, thank you very much for helping us out. And
the name of the zoo.
Lorelei Warney.
Yep. Naya and Chica, the cheetahs. So, sorry, Steve, the name Stephen Randy, I guess, won't be utilized for these 2 cheetahs.
So, again, a shout-out for Lorelei Warney saying, nice inning, Wahpeton, post 20. Number 18, way to run, boys. So that was in the last inning. And then Lorelei again, let's go, Ethan. Keep throwing strikes. And way to be a wall, Jackson. So great job out there. And again, thanks, Renee, for sharing about the cheetahs. Obviously, you can tell that we work together here nicely with the radio broadcast. And Jeff Taves does a good job on the Facebook and sharing all that information that's out there. So you have some comments that you want to put in there, please let us know. The players love to see that stuff when they go back and watch the game, so feel free to jump in.
And Bob Spanbauer says hi from below the booth.
That's great. All right, back to Steve Winterhack.
And Wahpeton, the host team in the event, and I guess I'll be covering that game, too, for our local radio station here in Wahpeton. I want to thank B92.7 FM for letting me tag along and cover their team. The fond memories of Wahpeton. Starting things out, top of the 3rd inning. And up the bat for Wahpeton, designated hitter Josiah Hoffman. Count is now 1-1 to him. He singled and scored Like a lot of people did for Wahpeton back in the second inning. Pitch. That's on the ground over towards second base. Carson Poppy picks it up cleanly, throws it to Steffes at first to get the out. So one down, and Torrey Ulick coming up. The guy likes to lay those bunts down and try to get a base hit out of them. He's a good, fast, left-handed hitter, and with a lot of those, that little extra step towards first base to get there safely. And always make maybe the defense rush a little bit, and he's going to try to butt his way out again. Great players in the past, Ryan Rasmussen and Joe Dogner from the Wahpeton High School team. Both on the same team, and those guys could lay some bunts down, and they got a lot of infield hits. Kind of rushes the throw of the fielders. You see a guy heading up the line that fast. Causes a lot of problems. The pitch is going to miss low. Thinking about it was Ulick, laid off. Puts the count at 1-1. Catches the outside part of the plate away from the left-handed hitting Ulick. Agreeing with that call, but count is 1-2 nonetheless. Caden Kappas, top of the order, waiting on deck. Pitch is down to the dirt and outside. Okay, well, from the Wahpeton Daily News, Robert Wanick listening and enjoying our broadcast. And something going on here in Wahpeton. Bouncer over towards shortstop, picked up by Sam Erpenbach to throw to first. He is in time. 2 up, 2 down, top of the order. Caden Kappas coming up to the plate. Yeah, we've got listeners and viewers in Minnesota, North Dakota. So we've got some of our Wahpeton people here, the host city for this. I'm glad to host it. I know Wahpeton does a great job, but we did started expanding the list of great places that have hosted this event before. We talked about Wahpeton, we talked about Westby, Viroqua, Nakusa. There's another place here in Wisconsin. Oh, 2 balls coming at the pitcher at the same time. Doubles the degree of difficulty of catching anything, but he did catch one of them and got out of the way of the other one. This is choice, kind of like a tennis player when they take about 4 balls from one of the ball boys, and I don't know how they pick out which is the better ball to use. You got to have 4 of them so they can narrow it down to 2. Comes the 0-1 pitch and a called strike. No offer by Caden. Caden has struck out so far in the ball game and made up for that with a single in the second inning, and also scored. To the count. He's out there and fouls it back. Caden is the coach's kid. Chris got a chance to talk to him before the game. A little disappointed. He had this good learning moment, father speech with not just his son but all the kids about why they lost the game yesterday against Santiago 8-5. But we got to be better pitching. Too many walks. Just let it rattle them a little bit. Gave up those 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and the difference in the ball game. They lost 8-5. The lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning in that game. It seems like a pretty cool, pretty good coach. Kind of guy you want out there that can probably get on him when he has to, and or the father figure type thing. Give him some of those talks. And then, of course, just talking about him, he has an error over at the coach's box over at third base. Chop one over toward him. Pitch is swung on by Chris's son, Caden, out of play. And he's very excited to bring the young man and whoever else is going along from the Wahpeton contingent down to Milwaukee after this game and go watch the Brewers take on the San Francisco Giants. Brewers winning the game 1 of that series by a run yesterday. And that one gets to the outside part of the plate. A called strike 3. So 3 up and 3 down. After you score 8, the next inning you go down 1, 2, 3. That's still an 8-1 lead on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. And I'll be back with the bottom half of inning number 3 in just 1 minute on B92.7 FM.
All right, we got a little shout-outs going on. Medallion Leon, he says, let's go, game day. And it looks like he's got his own website here, CodyOyege.com, high school baseball. So he's one that probably covers in the springtime the baseball in the area. And like you said, he's just rooting on for the kids. Steve Puckett says, let's go, LaCrescent. And then also a shout out from Robert Wanick Reports from Wahpeton's Daily News Sports Department. Great job on the broadcast. We're definitely spoiled over here with the buttery smooth voice of Steve Winterhag that does a lot of Waupun sports around here. Also, Al Odden says, wow, guys, just go into streaming and look at y'all. Go Wap, post 20. My heart is right there. So, yeah, we were talking about that Go Wap. The thing is Wahpeton, obviously W-A-H-P, Go Wap. And over here in Waupun, we say the same thing with W-A-U-P, Go Wap. So, yeah. But anyway, appreciate the comments, appreciate the kind gestures and so forth. Keep on posting. Two good teams right out here with Wahpeton and LaCrescent and some good group of kids. Really enjoy them having them here in Waupun. So here we go to the bottom of the third. Back to Steve Winterhag.
Live stream, just live stream on YouTube to watch the game and listen to my call of the ball game. Here we go, bottom of inning number 3. A good defensive inning for LaCrescent. Wahpeton going down 1, 2, 3, but they hold an 8-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the third on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Top of the order up first for LaCrescent, post number 595. Isaac Peterson starts things out, followed by Carson Poppy and Mason Bills. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Makes the count 0-2. He can definitely found his rhythm in this ball game compared to what he did yesterday. And then a hard hit ball right back at him, just lowers his glove, hauls it in right by his knees for an easy out. Easy for him. One of those reaction plays, get your glove down there where the ball is, react to it, and he hauls it in for the out. Hard hit up the middle, but Manick takes care of it to get the out. That'll bring up Carson Poppy. He struck out back in the first inning. Number 2 in the batting order, follows the first pitch off. I think all of our viewers out there are listeners on B92.7 FM, KBMW. I've always lived on this side of the Mississippi River and pretty much always lived in Wisconsin. I'm used to the W in the front, so it always takes a little getting used to when you start bringing call letters in from the other side. They start with K. Thank them for inviting me along to cover their much adored Wahpeton post 20 American Legion team. I know how important Legion baseball is up in that area. Big cities up there too that you have to play against. That's part of the problem for Wahpeton. They only have 2 divisions in North Dakota, I understand. In Wisconsin, we have 4, and some sports 5, and some in football we've got 7 divisions. Wahpeton, they took for baseball just 2 divisions. Be a big discrepancy in school enrollment and the teams that are on the bottom of that enrollment-wise to the teams on the top. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Foul ball. Keeps the count at 1-2. Derek Stanke, one of the organizers of this tournament and the coach for American Legion Post 210 out of Waupun, hoping all these games go fast. We're going to keep on trying to get teams to start their games just a little bit earlier. The next game will be at 11:15 with Valley City, North Dakota, taking on Kaukauna, Wisconsin. If things go his way, they might be starting a little before 11 o'clock. Hopefully the rain stays away. It looks good. Looks like it's going to last for a little bit, too, when it does get here. Pitch misses low. Makes it a 3-2 count with 1 down, nobody on. 8-1 lead for Wahpeton over LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Next pitch misses. Just the first walk issued in the ball game for Ethan Mannock. Trouble with his control yesterday when he came in as a relief pitcher, but has been doing an excellent job here in this ball game. Pretty good velocity. Not a junk ball pitcher at all. He just kind of brings it. Mason Bills up the bat. Good pitch into him, misses for ball one. That was the pitcher from Kakana yesterday, the Double-A champs. And the pitcher just throw smoke every pitch. Just kept on bringing it and hitting his spots. 1-1 the count on Bills, who flew out to center field his last at bat. A little off that one, and that's sometimes that's all you got to do is change the speed a little bit and took something off that pitch. Catches the strike zone, no offer from Bills. Going to froze on that one and makes the count 1-2. Just missing on the fastball, a little bit high. 2-2 the count on Bills. That runner at first. One run for LaCrescent. They had the lead for a little bit, but the answer right away top of the second inning. 8 runs come in for Wahpeton. Next pitch is swung on and fouled out of play over on the first base side. Count stays at 2-2. Discussion with home plate umpire Randy Arm, kind of looking down at Jackson Fleetwood, and now Coach Chris Kappa's coming out. It looked like it's one of those how you doing down there little moments. And maybe some comments being made, possibly. Guess. And the catcher Jackson Fleetwood from Wahpeton. Home plate umpire stepped right in front of him, looked down, and had a little discussion, and then Coach Chris Kappas comes out to find out what he's talking about with his player, and heads back to the dugout. Another 2-2 pitch for Mason Bills, and that is strike 3. Nice looking pitch right over the outside part of the plate. Those did not offer. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Ethan Mannock. And the big fellow, Ryan Steffes, future heavy equipment operator, up to bat. Pitch into him, misses. Big solid kid, first baseman for the Crescent Post 595. That runner at first base swings on the next pitch, fouls it out of play on the first base side. Kids chasing down the ball. I'm not sure if they're giving him anything like they used to. You see him a quarter or a piece of candy or something in the past here in Wahpeton. Yeah. Yep, send them home. That's the parents' problem then. 2 down. Count is now 1-2 on Steffes. Go over to the Madison Mallards. They give you a hot dog if you bring the ball back. And every time the ball goes in the crowd, the announcer always says, "Wiener." Wiener. And just a reminder that you got to take that ball, bring it back, get yourself a hot dog. Here's one, a hard hit ball past the diving Caden Campus out to center field. Putting runners now at first and second base. Again, runners at first and second. LaCrescent trying to get something going with 2 down. Cale Baker coming in now to run for the first baseman Steffes. He was 2 for 2 in the ball game. He had a single back in the first inning. Again, they've got somebody maybe a little more fleet of foot with Cale Baker coming out for LaCrescent. Jack Welch, the catcher, steps to the plate. First pitch into him, a fastball misses high for ball 1. Throw to first base and just getting back. Looks like they had a little deception going on. They had the second baseman also heading over to second base. Looks like they had a play set up there. They threw it to first and almost got the out there. Nice design plays. There's a 1-0 pitch. Going to miss off the plate. What's the count at 2-0? I like that. Have you seen that before? Where they had them both look like they were the play, kind of a deceptive way to do it. Yeah, so I'm sure that runner looked over and saw that second baseman heading over to second base. The runner at first did, and oh, they're going to go after him. I'm fine, and then he dove back just in time. That was a pretty slick play. I like that from Wahpeton. 3-0 pitch. Pitch a fastball right down Main Street for a called strike. Count is now 3-1. Runners at first and second. Nobody in yet in the inning. Pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Count is now 3-2. You stayed up last night, watched USA basketball knocking off France in the payback game. Didn't do it adamantly, but they did win the ball game, hung on to win, and gold medalist for USA basketball. Pitch swung on and ball just off the batter, just a foul ball. Drew Holiday along with Chris Middleton, NBA champs and now gold medalists, and they say that hasn't happened since Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did that years ago with the Dream Team. And one with the Bulls and then getting the gold medal. A swing and a miss on some high heat from Ethan Mannock. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 1 base hit, a couple runners stranded, nobody scores, and after 3 complete, 8-1 the lead now for Wahpeton over LaCrescent. And I'll be back in just 1 minute with the top of the 4th inning on B92.7 FM.
Yeah, and speaking of Ethan Mannock, it looks like he's got a fan that's rooting for him, and from Al Odden out there in Wahpeton. We got this Ethan really looking good. He is looking good, and Brandy Steffes says, "Come on, LaCrescent, give them all you got, boys." And I have no doubt LaCrescent is going to give them all they got. But as Steve was bringing up, Ethan Mannock kind of struggled in relief yesterday, and the old Chinese proverb of Confucius, it's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get back up. And Ethan Mannock is definitely showing that today by putting on quite a performance and allowing only 1 run so far in 3 innings for Wahpeton. But a lot of shout-outs out there also from Facebook and the YouTube. Keep doing that. Keep giving us little background pieces of information. Like I say, nice group of guys out here playing ball. Some good teams, and always enjoy talking to them. And Lorelei Warney, whoop, nice work, post 20. So big shout out to Wahpeton, post 20. So let's keep her going. Keep the comments and the shout outs going. The kids love it. Back to Steve Winterhack.
8-1 the lead for Wahpeton, getting all 8 of those runs in the top of the 2nd inning. We're heading to the top of the 4th. Scoreboard brought to you by Carlson Family Insurance. And coming up to the plate right now, Gavin Schroeder, right fielder. 3rd at bat of the game, had a single back in the 1st inning. Backed over with his teammates. Get him a little further on the base pass back in the 2nd inning. Number 2 in the batting order. Isaac Loosemore waiting on deck, and Jackson Fleetfoot in the hole. Way ahead of it on the next pitch into Schroeder. Pulls it. Hits it hard, but foul over on the 3rd base side. 1-1 the count for Gavin. One of the 9 young men going into their junior year. This is hit up the middle and a base hit. This nice easy stroke. And puts it right up the middle for a leadoff hit for post 20. Wahpeton had to take a little break in the 3rd inning and just decide we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. We're kind of tired after 8 runs and those 8 hits in the 2nd inning, but ready to hit again. And they got a runner at first base with nobody out. Isaac Loosemore coming up. Got on with an error back in the 2nd inning. Error on the 3rd baseman. Also a flown out. Pitch misses high and inside for ball one. Swings on the next pitch, falls it back and out of play. Puts the count at 1-1. Seems like just a harmless, nice Saturday morning. See what Mother Nature has in store for us later on in the day. I was saying thunderstorms possible at 12:30. You can start seeing that coming in the picture now when you look at the radar. So we will see how that affects us later on today. Right around noon. Around noon now, or a little after. When it comes in, it'll come in gangbusters. Just this big glob of clouds with some red and orange in it. A little off speed on that last pitch. A swing and a miss puts the count at 1-2 to Isaac. Jackson Fleetwood waiting on deck. Swing and a miss on the next pitch in. That's the second strikeout, or third strikeout, I should say, of the ball game for Braden Abnett. One down, still at runner at first base. Said before, Jackson Fleetwood stepping to the plate. Ethan Mannock waiting on deck. Not a real fast worker up there. Took a while to get the signal in, and then first pitch into Fleetwood. A little behind it, and hits it out of play on the right field side. Before, I hope your weather looking good up in the North Dakota area, Wahpeton area, southeastern part of the state. 0-1 pitch. Called strike. Puts the count at 0-2. Not thunder and lightning over there and scare the cheetahs. Mia and Chico. Trying to compete for top billing with Tal, but Tal's still the king over at the zoo. He knows, big fella. My buddy over there, Tal. Get myself a stuffed Tal. Then let's have some stuffed animals with a orangutan over there in honor of Tal. I'll have to see if I can order one online. 2-2 the count now for Fleetwood. Runner at first with one down. One hit up the middle, but not very fast. Kind of set it up for a double play attempt. Bounce over to first to get the out. Nice job starting that was Erpenbach, the shortstop. For Fleetwood. Runner at first with one down. One hit up the middle, but not very fast. Kind of set it up for a double play attempt. Bounce over to first to get the out. Nice job starting that was Erpenbach. And I'll be back with the bottom of the fourth inning right.
Some shout outs out there. Thank you, Liz Romaine, saying nice work, boys. And Perry and Denise Miller saying keep up the great work. Wahpeton. And Al Odden says the way this post-20 team works together, how they trust each other is what really makes it fun to watch. And it's always nice when you got a great group of guys. I've coached for over 20 years. I've officiated for a dozen, and it's always nice. And it makes it a whole lot easier when you got a great group of kids. Also very supportive families, too. Any coach will tell you sometimes the toughest part is not coaching the kids, it's coaching the parents. So appreciate the great comments out there from both LaCrescent, Minnesota and Wahpeton, North Dakota. Like I say, we got some people here that are on Facebook here, and like Wyatt Sunquist, Julene Beer, Tina Schumacher Planer, Jimmy Connell, Dale Andrew, and Sydney Pulskamp, and Tim Moore. We appreciate you coming on and joining us with the live stream. So we do enjoy putting this together and so forth. We really had a lot of fun a few years ago and like to keep this rolling. So back to Steve Winterhack for the top of the fourth inning, or actually bottom of the fourth. I apologize.
baseball. A lot of kids involved with the great facilities that they have here. Called strike on the first pitch into Braden Abnett. Number 6 in the batting order, followed by Logan DeBoer and Eli McCool. So we haven't been through the second at-bat of the ball game yet for the LaCrescent team. This is the cattle wrangler. Okay. Braden Abnett, he was talking to Jeff Taves, one of our commentators for the video part of this, but he mentioned that the cattle wrangling, he said he might even jump off a horse. He wouldn't be opposed to jumping off a horse onto a cow and wrangling that too. You got to find out more about that. You got to talk to him. We'll be here for a few more days. We don't see here around Wisconsin, but I've got some family that lives out in the western part of the state. Nice heat on the last pitch from Ethan Mannock. It's a fastball, probably a little out of the strike zone high, but a swing and a miss by Abnett. Couldn't wrangle that one in. He goes down for 1 out. Logan DeBoer coming up. I've got some family members. They're actually out in Wyoming, and then or Montana, I should say. They're out there, and they live on a ranch, and they get into that rodeo stuff. And I know some of the family members I haven't even met out there in the Dunn family do some rodeo type stuff out there. So different world, the Wild West. 0-1 pitch, make it 0-2, a swing and a miss. Swing of Logan DeBoer. Ethan, it seems to be getting stronger as the game's going on. Strong kid, and strike on the next pitch, and going down looking on just 3 pitches. That's Logan DeBoer. Kind of defeated. A slow walk away from home plate after that, and that'll bring up Eli McCool. Get that hit out towards right field. That went off the right fielder's glove. Back in the second inning. And 8-1 the lead for Wahpeton over LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Thank you again, Carlson Family Insurance, for supporting Post 20 out of Wahpeton. Count is now 1-1 to McCool. Pitch will miss outside. Now the way that I saw Ethan Mannock struggled yesterday in that ball game against Antigo when he came out, really had trouble finding the strike zone. They kept on throwing it outside and in the dirt. This is another ball hit in the right field side. It's scooped up by the second baseman Hockard. Throws to first base and gets the out. He had to dive over towards first base to get it. He smothers the ball. Came out really finding the strike zone. They kept on throwing it outside and in the dirt. This is another ball hit in the right field side. It's scooped up by the second baseman Hockard. Throws to first base and gets the out. He had to dive over towards Wahpeton. Be back after this in just 1 minute on B92.7 FM.
Heck of a quick inning there for Ethan Mannock and the Wahpeton Post 20 crew. Tim Moore from LaCrescent. If you look on the LaCrescent hats, they have the number 44 on their hats. For a long time, baseball high school coach Rick Boyer ended up passing away unexpectedly this past year. So number 44 is on the side of their hats to honor Coach Rick Boyer. Those in LaCrescent, we totally empathize with that. That's why we have our number 6 in left field. And if you ever look on our high school hats, we have the number 6 in honor of our coach that passed away from cancer a few years ago, Kevin DeBoer. So when you got coaches that have an influence like that, it's great to honor them. And like I say, hopefully number 44 is one of those that nobody else wears. Last person to wear number 6 actually for the high school team was Coach Kevin DeBoer's youngest son, Colin DeBoer. Hey, sympathies to you on that. Also, Gregory McNary, he's cheering on Wahpeton from Watford City, North Dakota. And Lisa Mauk, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Great job, Wahpeton. We're cheering you from Miller Realty in Breckenridge. All right. So thanks for the shout-outs. Keep them coming. And Tim, thanks for the information on Coach Rick Boyer. My sympathies to you folks out there and the family. And we're with you. Our hearts are with you because we understand. Back to Steve Winterhack for the broadcast as we start the 5th inning.
Love that. with the streets being named over in Wahpeton. Just thought I love that that little quaintness and the uniqueness of things like that over in Wahpeton. Be proud of your town. Ethan Mannock up the bat, right-handed hitter. Couple singles for him and making three as he takes the first pitch out to left field for a leadoff single for Wahpeton. 2 hits back in the second inning and scored both times after that. Looking to do the same here in the 5th inning. Teams have just scored in 1 inning in the ball game. 1 run in the first inning, bottom of the first for LaCrescent, and 8 runs on 8 hits in the top of the second inning for Wahpeton. And all the scoring in the game going on the first pitch. He's Mannock and slides in safely over at second base. You don't wait too long if you're wearing the red jerseys out there. Anthony's sitting on one base, and they get that extra base as soon as they can, and that's what Mannock did. Swung at the first pitch. Took after 1 pitch over to second base, just like that. He's over there after 2 pitches. Hunter Wamry up to bat now, right-handed hitter. So far in the ball game, he's had a single and a double and 3 RBIs. Talk about a game, and that was all in 1 inning. In that 8-1 second, I should say. That pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. A race between maybe a couple about 3-year-olds going at it. Oh, the boy tried to kind of edge out the girl over there, even doing play-by-play on the ball chase over there. The boy tried to edge out the girl, and she battled past him and got the ball. Good job. The 0-2 pitch, high and tight. Well, then I give her credit. She gives up a little size. And, well, I guess now she's on the ground crying as the boy took it from her. So it's getting ugly out there. 1-2 the count. Hunter Wamry. The things that amuse me. Yeah, we've got 4 cameras, but none over there in the foul territory, out of play area. It's a called strike, and Wamry kind of knew it. It's kind of heading toward the dugout. Did not offer on that pitch. So he goes down looking. Runner over at second base, and Caden Hockert comes to bat. He's grounded out. Also had a single and scored, all in the second inning. Swings on the first pitch, fouls it out of play for strike 1. I've been watching a lot of the Olympics. It's been kind of fun. I've had it on TV. They got like 3 channels that cover it. A few things I enjoy watching that you probably wouldn't watch any other time of the year. Any of some of the canoe races or whatever they do in the 1D and some of the crew teams. I do not like watching. I don't like synchronized swimming. I don't like watching that. For some reason that just bothers me. We'll watch a little ping pong, but just a very little. Guess if you're going to watch the cornhole tournaments, you're also going to watch things like ping pong. And yeah, it's pretty amazing what they do with that. Badminton, normally just a backyard fun game at a party in our area of the country, but this one is chopped over towards third base. Bill checks second, throws the first, and gets the out. The White Rhinos. They got 2 white rhinos over at the zoo, too. One of our responders out there. Anything else new over there since 2018? Gunner and Gideon. I'm getting the whole family of zoo animals that they have. Got to get there. Tell the wife to hop in the car and take a ride. Where are we going to go? Well, okay, it's a surprise. I'll let you know in 7.5 hours. We pull into Wahpeton. Yeah. Yeah. Rhinos, cheetahs, white rhinos, not just rhinos, not just any rhino, but white rhinos. This is popped in the air and out of the play, I should say, over on the right field side. And they've got they got Tal. Tal does sign language. Just don't make him mad. See what sign he's going to give you for that. Don't make a face at him. If he knows that one or not, but I'm not going to take a chance. I love Tal. Tal should not have to put up with any grief. They treat him like a king over there. So 2 down, runner at second base. And designated hitter Josiah Hoffman at the plate. 0-2 count. Chopped over towards third base. Second hop off the glove of the third baseman, Mason Bills, and everybody's safe. Now runners at the corners. And then just kind of backpedaling with Mason Bills. That would have made a long throw over there, but still off his glove and gets past him a little bit. So runners at the corners, and now coach heading out to the mound. At the studio in case that is what they are doing. Not sure. Just a talk with the head coach out there, Ryan Needfeld, out on the mound, and has not taken the ball from Abnett yet. So just a little discussion. 8-1 the score. Again, just a little talk, a little fatherly talk out of the, a little more animated back in that 8-run second inning, but pointing over towards third base.
Yeah, I think
there's discussion out there now, walking back.
Right. I don't think they're going to take Abnett out. He's at 94 pitches, so he's probably, like I say, they're going to let him get his 105.
Probably, yeah, getting close. 94 pitches and working toward that 105. So he'll be leaving here shortly after a few more batters. But Wahpeton threatening with 2 down, runners at the corners, and bring up Mr. Excitement here, Torrey Ulick. Makes things interesting with those bunt attempts and trying to get those infield hits. A nice, fast left-handed hitter. Ball strike. He'll let you know when the ball's not in there. Second time, kind of rolled his eyes and spun out of there. And called strike from Randy Armgee behind the home plate. Torrey Ulick, number 9 in the batting order. Rounded out a couple times so far in the game. One hits that one, but pulls it foul over on the ground on the first base side. Down to the count quickly now, 0-2. An alligator named Snappy. Like it. I'm getting the whole zoo. We got to get the whole list of zoo animals over at the zoo. And now runner walking between first and second base, and throw over to third, not in time. And trying to draw the throw over there was Josiah Hoffman. Say, hey, I'm over here. Heading to second base, and he kind of watched him and then quick threw it over to third base. Close play over there, but they didn't get him. And runners now with second and third base. But then living on the edge. They run the base pass once in a while, but benefiting from it in this ball game. Called strike 3, going down looking. Torrey Ulick with a happy look on his face right now. Runner stranded at first and third base. 1 error, a couple base hits, 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts in the inning. And after 4.5 innings, it is an 8-1 lead for Wahpeton over LaCrescent. Back with the bottom of the 5th. Coming your way in 1 minute on B92.7 FM.
A big thanks to Al Odden out there. He says he mentioned the parents, and they and the rest of the community in Wahpeton show their appreciation of Post 20 in so many ways, and that's a great comment to all the parents. Like, for example, we got this tournament going on. There's a lot of volunteers and coaches associated with this, and when you got a lot of people that are willing to come in and volunteer, it just makes everything run a lot smoother. And appreciate the updates about the zoo, Perry and Denise Miller. I think you got, like I say, Steve Winterhack very intrigued about maybe doing a road trip with his wife, one of those 7.5-hour road trips to Wahpeton, because he's got to check out Snappy, Gideon and Gunner, and the new 2 cheetahs. Couldn't remember Nyla, and I couldn't remember the other name, but Chica, yes. So obviously you got him intrigued because, like I say, the last time he was out there, a lot of memories and so forth with Tal, the orangutan, and he couldn't stop talking about it. So anyway, once again, Wahpeton is leading 8-1. We are heading into the bottom of the 5th with LaCrescent coming up with the top of the lineup with Caden Kappas.
7-0. Baroque, Wisconsin over LaCrescent, Minnesota, 4-2. And to go Wisconsin, of course, knocking off Wahpeton 8-5, and Waupun, Wisconsin, the host team, 9-0 over Valley City, North Dakota. Both those teams third-place finishers in their state tournament. Coming up for LaCrescent this inning, number 9, 1 and 2 in the batting order. Sam Erpenbach up first. Watches strike 1 go by. Watches also strike 2 go by. That one paints the outside part of the plate. Ethan Manick, just some heat. Once in a while mixes up speed. He's really throwing it harder than the last one, but misses outside. Puts the count at 1 and 2. Isaac Peterson awaiting on deck. Pitch is popped in the air out towards left field, and Isaac Loosemore ranges off to his right and in just a little bit to get the out. So 1 down, nobody on, and top of the order, Isaac Peterson coming up to bat. He singled and scored the only run back in the first inning for post 595. Carson Poppy, the second baseman, awaiting on deck. 8-1 the lead now for Wahpeton over LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Big thanks to all of our sponsors out there making this broadcast possible. And big thanks to B92.7 FM, KBMW, for asking me to cover the games here today. Been enjoying watching a very young team that you put on the field, and I think they're going to make some more trips back. This is hit over towards the shortstop. Caden Kappas picks it up and throw to first in that time. Nice stretch by Wamry. Had to kind of stretch out there and keep his foot on the base to get the out. But they do get it. 2 up, 2 down. And Carson Poppy coming up. He struck out. He has walked so far in the ball game. His third at bat of the game. Ethan Manick not showing any signs of slowing down in the game. Just keeps on bringing it. Diving attempt, ranging off to his left, is the second baseman, Caden Hockard, goes underneath him out to right center field, so a 2-out base hit. The 4th hit of the ball game for LaCrescent so far. So a 2 down, runner at first base, and Mason Bills. Some action over there at third base. He is up to bat. He was flown out to center field. He has went down looking back in the 3rd inning. Just can't get anything going here against Ethan Manick so far in the ball game. Nice plays behind the pitcher, Ethan. Solid performance by post 20. They have not scored except for that second inning. That's got all 8 of their runs there. They've granted a couple last inning. Who won the count now on Mason Bills? His favorite place, catching that outside part of the plate. The count now at 2-2. I think the hitters never like that either. The calls will, but they look pretty good. Go in there again, and this one is popped in the air. It looks like foul territory, right field side, giving chase. The second baseman, first baseman, and the right fielder, Schroeder, Hockard, and Wamry giving chase, but can't quite get to it. Put in that perfect spot right along the fence line. Away in the outfield and foul territory. It falls harmlessly to the ground, keeps the count at 2-2. 2 down. Gillette runner at first base. 8-1 lead for Wahpeton. Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. This one chopped in the ground, second hop, picked up by Timian, throws the first. And the out over at first just in time. Nice job, good throw. Had to wait for it a little bit. Took a while to get to him, but they do get a base hit. Strand one runner at first base, nobody scores. And after 5 complete, 8-1 the lead now for Wahpeton over LaCrescent. Back in just 1 minute on B92.7 FM.
Taking a look at, looks like Jeff Sauer himself here said, thanks for all the commentary, keep it up. Hey, we appreciate you folks coming on and giving us background on some of these kids. Like you say, with LaCrescent, knowing that they're honoring a coach. And another thing, too. And thing is like you say, we got a kid going on heavy equipment. Another kid that's a cow wrangler. And a lot of these kids just good kids. And you can be proud out there, LaCrescent, of your post 595 crew. Like I say, it's just one bad inning right now that's been the difference of the ball game. They were up 1-0, and then that snowman in the second is just still looming. But the rest of the game, they've settled down and retired Wahpeton players pretty quickly the rest of the way. So once again, we thank you for the commentary. We like the people that are rooting for Wahpeton Post 20 also. So we also like to big shout out to Rhett Dirksen, the bat boy for LaCrescent. He's been just hustling like crazy, and boys just throw the ball towards the dugout, and he is happier and happy to go collect them. So appreciate the Little Leaguers being bat boys for this tournament. Now back to Steve Winterhack and the top of the sixth.
Hayden Kappas coming up first. He struck out a couple times and also has a base hit and scored in the game. He's followed by Gavin Schroeder and Isaac Loosemore. The scheduled batter. Pitching to Kappas. That one's going to be hit out towards left center field and drops in for a leadoff base hit, his second hit of the game. So here we go, runner at first base, and Gavin Schroeder coming up. He had a single back in the first inning, a single in the fourth inning. Sacrificed some runners over in that second inning. A couple of hits for him so far in the ball game. Throw to first, not in time. Isaac Loosemore waiting on deck. I'm hoping they put the radio on over at the zoo over in North Dakota. We've got a bunch of fans over there. We've got Gunner, Snappy, Gideon, Nia, Chico, the fan club over in the zoo in Wahpeton. And Cal, well, he's the king. You know, he's got a king of the jungle over there. I don't know. Maybe he'd give me thumbs up. I hope he with sign language would be thumbs up. And a bunt back to the pitcher. Going to be a close play and out over at first base. Gavin Schroeder making it interesting over there with a good speed up the line. It gets tossed out, but that does advance the runner now all the way over to third base. Good job. I really like how they use the bunt. Very good at it at Wahpeton. The guys can put it down. Got good speed up the line. And pitch into Isaac Loosemore is fouled back for strike one. Teams just can't do it. You see a lot of teams that just kind of pop that up and end up just being an out. Nobody goes anywhere, and maybe they double people up. And these guys put the ball down on the ground and even put it in a good spot so they could possibly get themselves an infield hit, but definitely do their job. And the runner coming in from third base. Whoops. Pop that one up, though. Just as they talk about how good they're doing, all you got to do is put it down as you got Hayden Kappas coming in from third. Not a secret anymore. We're going to be looking for it here. Go back. They just fouled it back. Popped up on the foul bunt attempt and squeeze at home. 0-2 the count on Isaac Loosemore. That one will be hit out of play. Yeah, bigger kids taking over the ball over here. I gotta keep an eye on that little girl out there, but she's gonna do something special. Be an aggressive little athlete when she gets older. 0-2 the count now to Isaac Loosemore. Just following that last one off. And that runner at third base with one down. Another one going to be hit out of play again. He's got to be getting close to his pitch count now that they've fouled a few off. 104, so he'll be done after this batter for sure. He's at 104. And running out of balls right now. And he can get those balls in here and get them back in play. Nice thing that they do, they're doing a thing with our Little League players as the bat boys again, aren't they? Yeah, that's kind of a nice little thing, and those kids remember that. Teams usually take them under their wing and just make them feel like they're part of the team. Another 0-2 pitch. Going to miss, makes the count 1-2. Seen him in the past when Wahpeton has hosted some of the tournaments. They bring the bat boy right in. They even get a medal. If there's medals left over, they give him a medal. They bring him in the team picture. They got a jersey for him normally. Well, a nice deal that they do for the Little Leaguers here in Wahpeton to be part of this tournament. They take their job seriously out there. 1-2 the count. The next one, last pitch was fouled down on the ground by Loosemore. The players coming in, getting ready for the second game. Viroqua, Wisconsin, I should say Valley City, North Dakota, taking on Kaukauna, Wisconsin. 11:15 scheduled start. 32. Kind of dragging along for maybe that 8-run second inning kind of slowed things down a little bit. Then Braden Abnett, with his last batter he's going to face, strikes out the batter Loosemore. And that'll be it for him. I think we're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back in 60 seconds. We have a pitching change going on here at the Gus in Wahpeton. 8-1 the lead in favor of the Wahpeton Post 20 over LaCrescent, and I'll be back in just 1 minute with more of our baseball game on B92.7 FM.
Hey, looks big hand for Braden Abnett. Basically just one bad inning, that second inning. But he finishes with 6 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. So big credit to our cow wrangler, Braden Abnett, who, just didn't lose focus and kept battling. And obviously right away, Steffes was over there to shake his hand right away. So obviously a well-respected teammate. A lot of hands going from the LaCrescent fans that are here at the tournament. So like I say, that goes to show you what kind of kid he is and what kind of respect his teammates have for him. And now coming in for LaCrescent is number 29, Carson Poppy, coming in from second base. So for the relief. So like I say, big hand to Braden Abnett. Didn't see any new comments in the chats over here. Still see people watching. We still got about 25 people on the Facebook, and we've got quite a few observers and so forth in the YouTube channel. So like I say, big appreciation to everybody who put in the comments. Still some good baseball and so forth yet to come. But anyway, like I say, big kudos to LaCrescent right now. Like I say, even though they could have just folded things up and everything. So anyway, we'll bring it back to Steve Winterhack, and thanks for all the comments.
That's just going to miss, maybe a little high, maybe a little inside to Jackson Fleetwood up the bat now for Post 20. (1-0) the count. Pitch, a weak little pop, but that's going to find the turf for an RBI single. On the handle of the bat, kind of shaking his hands. Maybe he just stung his hands or hit it a little bit, but he's shaking out his right hand, and that's on your throwing hand. Don't want that for the catcher. Is going to step out right now and Hopefully he's all right, but he got himself an RBI single. He brings in Caden Kappas from third base. 9-1 now the lead here in the top of the sixth inning. Favor of Wahpeton post 20. And the pitcher Ethan Mannock trying to go yard on that swing. Uppercut, hard swing, swing and a miss. I mentioned it before, be taking the bus, the team bus, all the way down to Milwaukee today to watch the Brewers, and that's popped in the infield. We'll talk about that later. And Zach Bentz gets underneath it, hauls it in for the out, the third baseman. So not before they had a couple hits in the inning for Wahpeton. One run does come in, one strikeout, and it's now 9-1 after 5.5 innings in favor of Wahpeton over LaCrescent on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Back with the bottom half of inning number 6 in just 1 minute on B92.7 FM.
Wahpeton adds to their lead, make it 9-1, and shout out to Wendy Kaler, who's watching from Glendive, Montana. And she's rooting for post 20. Wahpeton, so far a great game. So shout out from Wendy Kaler to her Wahpeton Legion crew. No comments from the YouTube stream, but appreciate you once again, everybody coming in and tuning in from Montana, North Dakota, Nebraska, and Minnesota, and joining us for the first game of day 2 between Wahpeton and LaCrescent. Thank you.
Sixth inning, now leading 9-1 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. And up to bat, it's number 4 in the batting order, Ryan Steffes. Swing and a miss on his first pitch that he sees this inning. He's got 2 singles in the ball game. Swings on the next one, and it's high in the air, but out of play. Jack Welch should be awaiting on deck, and then see if Braden Abner, he's out of the ball game or not. Pitch is going to miss high. Count is now 1-2 to Steffes. Talking about the Wahpeton team will be hopping on the bus, and many of the other fans that are here too will be heading down to American Family Field to watch the Brewers take on the San Francisco Giants. A couple teams top of their divisions going at it. Brewers getting the best of the Giants yesterday, beating them by a run. Hopefully it should be an exciting game for them, maybe a little bit more scoring, and hopefully a Milwaukee Brewer victory tonight. A big swing and a miss on the next pitch in, and fastball from Mannock challenging the big guy, and Mannock wins out, striking him out. Still got a lot of pop in his arm yet in the ball game here, going to the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 down. That'll bring up Jack Welch. And they... What has he got for pitches right now? 99 right now. So we're nearing the end of the ball game for Ethan Mannock too, and what a game he's had. A strikeout this inning. He has a total now, I believe, of 8 strikeouts in the game. He's going to miss low and away. Only walked 1 runner. Also his accuracy very good after what we saw yesterday in that loss to Antigo. One of those guys probably likes to be a starting pitcher, not a relief guy later on in the game. Pitch is swung on, fouled out of play. Count is now 2-2 to Welch. He struck out a couple times so far in the game. For his first time on base Coming right at him and fighting off another pitch. 2-2 count. Now for Jack Welch. As kind of working Mannix for a few extra pitches. This one is high and tight. Puts the count at 3-2. This will be the last batter you'll face. This will be his 105th pitch. He finished the batter, of course. But this one is fouled back and out of play. Again, one down, nobody on. 9-1 lead for post 20 out of Wahpeton. The Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Maybe if they have a job opening, that might be go retire up in Wahpeton. That might be a place to go. I'm already kind of retired. This one's on the ground over towards third base, picked up by Timian. All the way across the field, gets the throw over to Wamry to get the out. Third baseman, even if they're deep in the hole over there, they've got that cannon to go across the field and still get the out at first base. So 2 up and 2 down, and we will have a pitching change. Good round of applause for Ethan Mannock in this ball game. He's only given up 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk in the ball game. What a performance from him. He's leaving the game with nobody on base and 2 down, and a 9-1 lead for his team. And we're going to take a break at a pitching change. They'll be back in a minute as Wahpeton warms up a pitcher. Back after this on B92.7 FM.
Nice job by Ethan Mannock. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 1 run unearned, 4 hits, 8 Ks, and out of the 106 pitches that he threw, 71 of them for strikes. So nice percentage, somewhere between 2/3 and 70%. Now we have number 9 coming in for Wahpeton, and that's Caden Hockert. He'll be finishing things up, hopefully. Also, like I say, Ethan Mannock, 8 Ks. And also the play that really impressed me was that line shot back in the 3rd inning where he had a nice glove save. Also, at the conclusion of the game, I'll be interviewing 2 to 3 players from the winning team. Obviously, Ethan Mannock is a candidate for Wahpeton along with Hunter Romrey. So might be looking for someone else too. There's a couple guys on the team with 2 hits. So we'll see, but stick around after the game, and hopefully we get a chance to hear from the kids afterwards. So greatly appreciate it. We'll bring this back to Steve Winterhack.
Hockert again, the second baseman coming into pitch for post 220. A nice job, 5 2/3 innings for Ethan Mannock. And he only gave up 4 hits during that time, only walked 1 batter, and had 8 strikeouts. So what a job for him in the game. He's done the for the tournament, actually, maxing out on his pitching. He heads over to second base, just a flat-out switch with Caden Hockert. And up to bat now is Zach Benson. Moved him into third base when they made the pitching change last inning. Half of inning. Swings in the next pitch and fouls it back into the net. Count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Hockert. Fouls the next one back. Again, storms on their way. We're just talking about the radar right now. Storms on the way here. It looks like we're pretty much a shoe into have a storm. And just watching strike 3 go by is Hockert. Not agreeing with it, but does not offer, and a couple strikeouts, 1 ground out, and after 6 complete, 9-1 lead for Wahpeton over LaCrescent. And we'll be back in just 1 minute with the top of the 7th inning on B92.7 FM.
All right, nice job on Caden fooling with a curveball. Also Lorelei Horney's nice pitch, and Ethan, way to go, way to finish. And we're going to have some substitutes coming in shortly. We'll get those announced and so forth. But once again, just a reminder, at the conclusion of this game, I'll be interviewing 2 or 3 kids from the winning team. If it's Wahpeton, Ethan Mannock and Hunter Romrey are definitely 2 prime candidates, and I'm also maybe looking at Jackson Fleefit, who is 2 for 4 with 2 ribbies also in this game. So right now we're heading into the top of the 7th. It's 9-1, Wahpeton.
And Josiah Hoffman, at least the scheduled batters for Wahpeton. And Carson Poppy on the mound for post 595 out of LaCrescent. Pitch in is this low, and it dropped out. We got to the plate for ball 1. So we got Wes back at the studio over in Wahpeton. He said he used to work over at the zoo, and he gave me the pronunciation. And I don't know if this is what we agreed on with it here, Chahinkaba. Is that right? Is that what Jeff said? Chahinkaba. Yeah, Chahinkaba. And he said he used to work there. He used to follow the elephants around with a shovel. No, I guess maybe Wes didn't do that, but sure, it'd be a good job over there. Well, going into the low-paying and job of radio. Maybe should have stayed over at the zoo there, Wes. 1-2 the count. Hunter Womry. The pitch is coming in a lot slower, trying to throw a little junk right now, huh? A little knuckle on the last pitch from Carson Poppy. Not throwing near as fast as Braden Abnett did, but the junk ball pitcher. Movement on that one, and a big cut and a foul ball by Womry. Keeps the count at 2-2. So far, Hunter in the ball game has singled and doubled and hit in 3 runs. Did it all in the 2nd inning. Also was struck out. This is his 4th at bat of the game. Top of the 7th inning, 9-1 the lead for Wahpeton on the Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. The 2-2 pitch from Carson Poppy. The fastball, kind of lower delivery. Just misses off the plate. A little stare down between the home plate umpire and Carson Poppy. Wondering where that one missed in Carson's mind. Count is now 3-2. Here's the pitch from Poppy. It is bounced over towards shortstop. Erfenbach charges, grabs it, throws the first to Ryan Steffes, and gets the out. Peyton Hockard going from second base to pitcher earlier this last inning, and he's up the bat right now. Take a look at what he's done so far in the ball game. Had a single and scored in the 2nd, also grounded out, and had a single in the 5th inning. A 2-for-3 day going for him. Pitching him, that's going to miss low and outside for ball 1. A lot of off-speed stuff. Like I said before, kind of a junk ball pitcher with a Poppy on the mound. A change of pace, then comes in with a nice fastball right in the inside part of the plate, so swing and a miss. The count at 1-1. Good job mixing it up by Poppy. This is tagged out towards center field going back. Isaac Peterson chases it down and hauls it on into the dead run over his shoulder to get the out. One of those plays you usually see out of your center fielders. They can cover a lot of the field out there, and they just get on their horse, chase it down, and make even the hard plays look easy out there. So good job by Isaac Peterson out in center field. We'll bring up the designated hitter, Josiah Hoffman. 1 for 2 in the game, or 1 for 3. He had a single and scored back in the second inning. Got on with an error by the third baseman back in the 5th inning. Going away in the next pitch in, puts the count at 2-0. 2 down, nobody on, 9-1 lead for Wahpeton over LaCrescent in day 2 of the Division II Central Plains tournament. He's going to miss high and inside. 3-0 the count. So a couple more games in the tournament for Wahpeton after this. He's playing 2 pools of 4. And this is on the next pitch, so a walk issued to Hoffman. Yeah, we kind of went with 2 pools of 4. Pool A is Kaukauna, Wisconsin, Le Henderson, Minnesota, Valley City, North Dakota, and the host team, Wahpeton, Wisconsin. Pool B is Antigo, Wisconsin, LaCrescent, Minnesota, Viroqua, Wisconsin, of course, Wahpeton in that. So he's going to play 4 games no matter what. This is on the ground, backhanded by the shortstop. Erpenbach goes over to second base and gets the out. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 1 walk, 1 runner stranded, nobody scores for Wahpeton at the top of the 7th inning. And after 6.5 innings, it is 9-1 in favor of Post 20. Back with the bottom of the 7th coming your way right after this on B92.7 FM.
History to join their team. Full-time and summer openings for a variety of shifts. Monday through Friday day shifts, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Starting weight.
Welcome back here to the Gus. This is Jeff Sauer with Jeff's live stream, and you're watching it on Facebook under Waupun Baseball Video live stream. Jeff Daves is heading down to the field right now, getting ready to do some interviews with a couple of players or the coach from Wahpeton or LaCrescent, could be, depending on which team is going to be the winner. But right now it's looking like Wahpeton, but Wahpeton put 8 up. Maybe LaCrescent can do the same. Once again, continue to bring those comments in Facebook and into YouTube. Stay here with us for the interview, and we'll give those shout-outs at the end. I'm hoping that we'll have enough time before the next game. The next game is scheduled to start at 11:15, so I'm hoping that I'll have a little bit of time to run out and see if I can throw an umbrella underneath that or on top of the center field camera. So we'll going to go right away because weather's moving in, so it's predicted to be in here by 12:30. So we're hoping that we'll make sure that we're ready to go from there. So I'm going to go back to Steve Winterhack. Just a reminder again, stick with us. Stick with us here for the end of the game interviews with Jeff Taves. And once again, we had a 50-50 raffle going on here, and just amazing. We had $143. I'm hoping next time we do this, we'll have a way to do Venmo, and we can have you guys participating at home, and we'll do an automatic electronic roll or something like that. But thanks again for listening and watching. We appreciate it. And here we go, back to Steve Winterhack.
Back there and keeping me on the air. Good job, Wes. Thanks to our sponsors for making our broadcast possible here today. So working with Turner, I worked with him yesterday, and probably work with him a few more times during the weekend. Again, Caleb Lindley off the bat. First at bat of the game. Facing again, Caden Hockert. Count is now 2-1. We'll make it a quick little pregame, or postgame, I should say, after this. Go through some of the numbers I have figured out here already. Pitch misses inside and high, and I'll be back if later on today for the video people out there that are watching it on video. I'll be back to do the Waupun game later on today, hopefully, if the weather allows. As the other games today, Waupun at 3:45 scheduled time, supposed to be taking on Le Henderson, Minnesota. See what Mother Nature has in store for us here. Called strike. And the next pitch in to Brady Grupa. Coming up for his first at-bat of the ball game. Face of Eli McCool. There's a baseball name of the weekend. McCool. Let's say it like that. Oh, diving back. The big fella can move. Man, over there in a hurry. Nice job over there by Caleb Lindley, staying on his toes, and first slide back, dive back to first base. Close enough that time just to kind of take a step over. And right now, Wahpeton just should be concerned about getting those last 3 outs and going 1-1 in the tournament. They kind of take into consideration with the 2 pools that they have, 2 pools of 4. And that won't be decided till all the pools are done tomorrow. Of course, your record is one thing, and then also runs allowed and runs scored in a ball game. They keep track of that on the big sheet just below us in the press box. We're sitting on the second story of this kind of utility shed downstairs, and then the press box upstairs, where we have the video crew up here, the PA announcer, Scott Van Galen, also here. Sammy Lynn's up here too. As he's doing the game changer thing. So he keeps track of things on game changer. Sam does that, and that's a great tool that they have. We use that a lot during the season, keeping track of Wahpeton High School and also Legion baseball. Great tool. You can do kind of a while the game is going on type thing. Some live stuff with that. And we got the 2 Jeffs up here, of course, running their video to the live stream with Facebook and YouTube. And hopefully some people were watching that and listening to my broadcast on that, and then said I can be a part of that. You can watch it on Facebook and Wahpeton Baseball video live stream. Even if you missed the game, you can watch it later on. And also on YouTube at Jeff's with an apostrophe live stream. Jeff's live stream. Pitch is foul back and out of play. Still a 3-2 count. We have the Brady Grupa up to bat. Just got done with his freshman year. Caleb Lindley over first base. Graduated senior. Ball popped high in the air in foul territory, and that's going to be dropped off the glove of first baseman Hunter Wamry. Watching for a while. It hit pretty high up there. And little things don't always come down straight. It's kind of moving around and reach back and off his glove and on the ground. So Grupa dodges a bullet, gets another chance to see if he can get himself a base hit in the ball game. And a couple walks issued.
Got to pull down.
Now runners at first and second base. Exactly what Coach Chris Kappas wanted to see. Not sure if Caden Hocker is somebody he wants to use later on in the tournament, but again, when they figure everything out, who's the top-seeded team, the second-seeded team in each one of the pools that are going on, they'll be facing each other. Number 4 seeds will actually be facing each other coming up tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And after that, the other 3 seeds will be playing on Monday with a 10 o'clock, noon, and 2 o'clock game. And some of the teams, such as Valley City, along with Wahpeton, they've got a drive ahead of them. Our Minnesota teams. LaCrescent not that far away. Just across the Mississippi River from La Crosse for LaCrescent. Some drives left for some of these teams, but I'm glad, let's see how this format works out instead of the double elimination part of it. And like they do in the other state tournaments and the other Central Plains tournaments. This one with 2 pools of 4, and just kind of decide it that way. The number 1s will face each other at 2 o'clock tomorrow, for Monday, I should say, and that'll be for the championship of the Division II Central Plains tournament. The coaches kind of agreed with, and they decided to go with. And the nice thing about that is every team gets guaranteed 4 games. Instead of just 2 and done, and you're leaving Saturday morning already. All down to the ground. Big fella heading over to third base and comes in leading with that knee.
Kind of slid past the bag.
Kind of knocked the ball out of the glove, but he's thrown out over at third. And
yeah, you're down 9-1.
Pretty good speed for a bigger player out there, and he gets tossed out over at third base.
Well, he just kind of,
At the bat right now for his first at bat, Kai Baker. Another one of the guys who just got done with his senior year of high school. Left-handed hitter. Right down Main Street. Taking all the way on that pitch. Count is now 3-1 to Kai. He's having a little trouble with his control right now. A couple of walks, and now sitting at 3-1 on the batter, and that's going to be a one off the top of the glove.
Should have let that go.
For the first, that not in time. Again, kind of popped high in the air off the glove of Caden Hocker, and a chopper right back.
I'll let you'll hear the official score.
Trying to
infield hit.
Get that out and not give up on it. A little late on the throw over there, so runner safe at first and second base. That's a tough player on the top of the
mound like that, chopper.
Evan Guile coming up to bat, so LaCrescent still kind of conceding the game by bringing other players in. It's just that there's been a few walks and a base hit, and guys are getting their first at-bats, making the most of them, getting on base so far. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. Quickly, the count is now 0-2 to Guile. Pitch. Fastball misses high. Count is 1-2. Again, scoring 9-1 in favor of Wahpeton over at LaCrescent, Minnesota, on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. And he called strike on the next one, and going down looking is Guile, looking very dejected on his way back to the dugout. So 2 down, runners at first and second base. Don't forget the next ball game, and I'll be at that game to bring it to you coming up tomorrow morning. It'll be Wahpeton taking on Viroqua, Wisconsin, the Class
came in relief with
and coach coming out right
2
now.
outs last inning, so he might be at 25.
Will be coming out, taking the ball from Caden Hockert, maybe keeping him down the pitch count to possibly see him later on in the week. And coming in now is Nick Zock. Nick Zock, left-handed pitcher, going to come in trying to get that last out of the ball game to wrap it up for Wahpeton. Look at a few things here as far as our stats. Ethan Manick had 5 2/3 innings of pitching, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Just a great performance from him. Kept on getting stronger throughout the game. A nice pitching performance by Manick. Really shut down the LaCrescent, Minnesota hitters throughout the game. Coming into the ball game now, number 13. Is Nick Zock. Let's just take a 30-second break, and I'll come back to finish out the ball game as pitcher warming up back in 30 seconds with more post-20 baseball on B92.7 FM.
Generic, thanks for checking.
Just a reminder that we're going to have that end of the game interview, and I do have to make a switch over with my technology to make sure that that's working, so we can go from the hardwired system to the wireless system. So just bear with us as we get that hooked up, and we'll get those interviews out for you as soon as possible. You're listening to Jeff Sauer and Jeff Taves on Jeff's live stream, as well as on the Waupun Facebook video live stream page, and we'll be back for that wireless interview at the conclusion of the game.
Hey, go get him now.
That's all, folks.
Hunter Wamry squeezes it, brings it in for the out, and that will
Coach,
end
when
the
you're done
ball game.
shaking
I'm just
hands,
going
could
to
I
wrap
have
things up here
Jackson,
as
Hunter, and Ethan?
Wahpeton
Thanks.
post 20 wins the ball game 9-1 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Let's take a look at the numbers again. The pitcher for most of the game here for post 20, Ethan Mannock, pitched 5 2/3 innings.
You got me, Jeff?
He just gave up 4 hits in the ball game.
Let me know when you got me, Jeff.
1 walk in the ball game and 8 strikeouts that he recorded in the ball game. Leadoff batter with a 2-for-4 day, a couple singles for him in the game, a couple strikeouts. For Gavin Schroeder, he's been 2-for-4 in the.
Jeff, you got me?
Single
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, remember to flip up the mic.
Yep, I already did.
3 for 4
Okay,
for Ethan
awesome.
Mannock.
Yeah, a little less of an echo.
Also had a great day,
Yep,
with a bat in his
fantastic.
hand,
So,
2 of those hits and
welcome back
scored
here to
after
Wahpeton,
that
and we're
second
going to
inning,
get
and,
here some
also
player
had
interviews.
himself a single
And
in
to
the
wrap
5th
up
inning,
the
2-for-4 day with 3
game here
RBIs,
between
both
Wahpeton
of
and
those
LaCrescent.
hits, for Hunter.
Yep, I'm going to be interviewing Jackson Fleetfoot, Hunter Romery, and Ethan Mannock.
Make sure that they look up here and see their fans.
Okay. Make sure when I'm talking to you guys, look up there. All right. He's got the camera on.
Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, I'm with the catcher, first baseman, and pitcher, Hunter Romery and Ethan Mannock. We'll start with Jackson, who was 2-for-4 with 2 ribbies, also gunned down a couple runners. A little insight, Jackson, about this game.
Well, this is a must-win. We needed this one to go on to the next day and get bigger trophies at home. We just had to keep playing our hearts out, leave it all on the field right now.
All right, and then we got Hunter Romery, who had one heck of an inning with 3 RBI and 2 hits. He went 2-for-4. So what you got to say about today, Hunter?
I played better than I have all tournament and state, so I thought it was a win day for me there.
All right. And then we have Ethan, who struggled a little bit last night and did way better today. 5 2/3 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 8 Ks, and out of the 106 pitches, 71 were strikes, including a beautiful glove save in the 3rd inning with that line drive. So what was the difference from yesterday to today?
Just the mindset coming in. I just had to keep firing strikes and just pound the zone, get ahead for the team. Yeah, that's basically it.
All right, one last thing, guys. What do you got to say for the fans back rooting for post 20?
What do you guys think? You go. Thanks for all the support.
Thanks for the support.
All right, you got a lot of people there rooting you on. Also, enjoy the Brewer game. All right? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate the interview, and thanks to the gentleman for taking the time to do that. We appreciate it. Good job there. Great fans here in Wahpeton, so just a quick follow-up. Nice pitching by Ethan. Nice win. And so proud of these boys from Heather and Lorelei. 3 great players, way to lead your team and do your best. So they really do appreciate all of the fan support. I really appreciate it as well. And the great interview there by the players, giving props to the team. Let's see what we got here for Facebook. And I think we're good there. So again, thank you for following the broadcast, and congratulations to Wahpeton. We're going to switch over to the next game. So again, thank you, and we will see Wahpeton back on the diamond tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning as they're going to be taking on Viroqua. Take care, God bless, and thank you for watching the live stream.
Yeah, I'm Woodruff. So, all right, have fun. Thanks, guys.